Has anyone ever thought about changing careers entirely? Have any of you actually done it? Yes. Oh, there's a good amount. Okay, good. So what I'll be doing is I'm going to be talking to you, I guess, the other people who haven't done it, and I'm going to be talking to you about career change. So I'll begin with the end, and I'll say that as she said, I work for an awesome tech startup called Influitive. But just a couple years ago, I did something completely different. I actually worked in human resources for this humongous company. We'll just call them the Man for now. So I definitely did a very big change in my career. And I think that when people even think about the idea of career change, you know, kind of get like anxious. You think of uncertainty and certainly a lot of risk. And so I can definitely say that I know a lot about all of that because I did my career change at the peak of the recession. So I basically pieced out of a very stable and comfortable job at a time when people were getting let go all over the world. So I want to talk about career change, and I also want to talk about my career change in context of a really amazing book called The Startup of You. Have you guys heard of this book? It's really good. It was written by Reid Hoffman. He's, of course, the guy that co-founded LinkedIn. Really, really smart guy. And so in his book, the sort of central idea is that you should think about your career as though it's a startup. So you're the co-founder of your own career and you're being like an entrepreneur. I think it's a really strong message, and I think that definitely helped me in sort of my career transition. So I guess I'll talk to you about what sort of propelled me to leave a very comfy job at a time where things were not very stable. As I said, I was working in human resources for the Man, and I was on this team and we were implementing this really, really complicated HR software. And the idea, we were all, for the most part, we weren't really technology people. And the idea of configuring screens and understanding the relationship between tables, like most people on the business side were like, whoa, I don't want to do that, I don't do that. And I thought it was really cool and really interesting. And so as we struggled through this software implementation that took forever, I realized that there was a really big difference between the business and the technology people. And I thought that it would be really cool to find a career that was sort of at the intersection of business and technology. I didn't know what that career was, and I didn't really know very much about technology at all. But I knew I wanted to learn about it. So the day that I quit my job, that I told the Man that I didn't need the Man anymore, I felt like a rock star. I was like, yeah, I need you. It was amazing, and people thought it was insane. They were like, who are you? Like, why are you doing this? Like, you're not getting laid off. Like, why would you ever do something crazy like that? So that was what I did. And it seemed like I did it on a whim, but I actually didn't do it at all. And to relate this sort of experience back to Reid Hoffman's book about, thinking about your career as though it's your own startup, I believe that I acted sort of entrepreneurially in the sense that I took a very calculated risk. So I didn't just quit my job. I did a ton of research in terms of tech careers that I thought I would kind of be well suited to. I also looked at the earning potentials of careers like that. In addition to that, I looked at, because I knew nothing about technology, I looked into various career programs, not career programs, but like educational programs in Toronto that would help me get where I needed to be. And in addition to that, so I found this pretty wicked program at Ryerson that was combined business and tech. And instead of just quitting my job outright, I took the first course in the program. A lot of people drop out of grad school, you think it's going to be one thing and then it's really another, and you're like, oh God. So I took the course on a Tuesday night. I didn't really tell anyone at work that I was taking some tech course. They would have been like, what are you doing? And so I did sort of like a beta launch, is this kind of what I want to do? And as it turns out, I totally loved it. It was an awesome class. Yeah, I was like one of 2 women in the class, but I didn't care about that. I was really interested in learning. So I took this sort of calculated risk, and I felt amazing about it, and all of a sudden I was like going for coffee in the middle of the day, and it was like life was amazing to have just a different sort of change in schedule.